My name is Ndiougou Fall. I'm a Senegalese farmer and I'm the chairman of the executive committee of the ROPPA. The ROPPA is a network made up of small West African farmer and agriculture producer organizations, and it coordinates all the professional agricultural bodies in the ECOWAS, Economic Community of West African State Countries. It includes at least 60 to 17 millions of us small farmers, and our aim is to promote family farming consisting essentially of small-scale producers relying on family labor. We produce food firstly for our own consumption and then for the market. This is the most common kind of farming to be found in West Africa, and frankly throughout Africa as a whole. But it's also a kind of agriculture which receives very little help from the national budget. A mere 5% of which comes to us, despite contributing 35–40% to the nation's wealth. And it's also a system of farming which has been overlooked as regards public development support for a very long time. What this means is that it is these very farmers who feel the brunt of the food crisis and are most affected by it, to the extent of not even being able to feed themselves properly. Strange to say, this is what is really happening. The very people being asked to feed the population at the end of the day can't even feed themselves. This is why we are setting about trying to find out if there aren't actually some genuine issues which are preventing us from being properly nourished in our region. We've known for a very long time, and this has been backed up by the research we have carried out, that the region has enormous agricultural potential. Good arable land, huge areas for grazing, no shortage of running water, and great ecological diversity, plus lots of land which can be irrigated. In short, everything is in place which ought to get us out of this situation. This means, in a nutshell, that food insecurity question have got to be examined from some other point of view than that of potential. That other point of view, what it means are the common policies which have not been devised so as too much existing farming methods, nor have they been formulated to satisfy the food demands of the region. You can see this in marketing policies, infrastructure policy, training provision. Take a look at any of these areas, and you will see no relationship whatsoever with the concerns of the people on the ground. The result of the 2008 food crisis was that it exaggerated this dislocation at policy level and brought home the fact that the food security question is not be examined just as a one-off problem affecting the region. Far from it, it has to be explored in the light of all the factors involved, and the policies have got to be made to overlap so that more money is available, the regions are better protected, and small farmers can establish themselves as a valuable resource. They should be in a position to make the necessary change to ensure that produce matches the way the situation is developing, because this is a region in which the cities are expanding at an alarming rate, and food demand cannot be met as it has been in the past. This is what is dictating the question we are now working on, and indeed we are doing so in partnership with various organizations at regional level, such as ECOWAS, with European and African NGOs, with institutions such as the CTA, the European Commission, and we are also working with institutions in the United Nations system such as FAO, FIDA, Biodiversity, and so on. By working with these people, we are trying to ensure that the voice of small farmers in Africa are really being heard, and to express our serious concern that their interests should be factored into decisions being taken at the international level. Decisions taken in Washington and Brussels increasingly affect our very own fields, and we feel that we can no longer sit quietly and ignore these policies, whether at national or international level. What that means is that we are having to face new limitations, new challenges. Climate change is affecting everyone in the world, and we certainly have our part to play. But our take on the matter is that action on climate change cannot take the form of opposition to development. What we need is for the development issues confronting us in our region to be effectively controlled and steered. A further challenge is the population growth affecting the African region, and especially the West. Population numbers are rising fast, and most growth is in the cities. There will be 500 million of us in 2030-2040. Who is going to feed this population? Our approach is that if these numbers are to be fed, if some level of social stability is to be guaranteed, along with at least a minimum income for the large majority of the population, inclusive policies will have to be developed. What a farmer means by an inclusive policy is one which ensures maximum land distribution, so that each West African, indeed each citizen, will hold enough land to allow him or her to live in dignity. This is the exact opposite of what we are seeing today, where huge multinational companies are taking over the region, buying up vast areas of top-grade land, a process which spells doom for the objective of food security. The ROPPA is also taking this question, and its studies are highlighting the dangers to society, the economy and peace itself arising from these kinds of decisions taken at regional level, and which are destined to destroy our economy, social stability and the like. In short, we are attempting to deal with all of these matters, challenges of which we are only too well aware, and where we feel pressed to contribute in any way we can.